Hello everyone. Good morning to everybody. Dear students, as you know, our university exams are close and we will have to prepare for the exam. In English literature, in the first paper of English literature, there are 7 types of literary terms described in our syllabus. So, let's prepare these terms from the point of exam. Yesterday, we studied about the dramatic monologue and what is the definitions of dramatic monologue, features of dramatic monologue, and how to use, yeah, who are the poets who have used dramatic monologue in their poetry. So we have read all this yesterday. Today we are going to study the literary term antithesis. What is the antithesis? What is the meaning of antithesis? First of all, we try to understand its definition. Antithesis is a figure of speech which presents a contrast oppositions in a balanced sentence. As the by utterance of this word, the meaning comes out such like that antithesis. Anti means oppositions, against, opposition a contrast. Thesis meaning we can take simply its meaning. Thesis means meaning. So there is the difference, opposition in meanings. There might be antithesis. So antithesis is a figure of speech which presents a contrast oppositions in a balanced sentence. In a balanced sentence, in a single sentence, in a complete sentence, there is a type of contrast opposition is found. Sense of one part is direct opposite to the sense of second part. In only one single sentence, the first half part meaning, the meaning of the meaning, a sense of the first half part of the sentence is direct, is just opposite to the meaning of the second part. So this term was effectively used by Pope and other poets of 18th century, although both sense of parts are relevant. Antithesis was highly popularized, was popular during the 18th century, and it was most popularized by Alexander Pope, who was the dominant poet of 18th century. And there are other poets who also used this term antithesis in their poetry. Although both sense of parts are relevant and true. Although apparently the sense of first half part and the last half part seems appeared contrast opposite, but there is no any kind of struggle, yeah, controversy, but they are relevant and true. For example, willing to wound, and yet to afraid to strike found in Pop's descriptions of Atticus in his epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot. Willing to wound, we see in this statement as which is found in Pop's description. Willing to wound, one man who wishes to wound, who wishes to kill or hurt somebody, but he is not able to, he cannot, he is afraid and cannot strike on other persons. So first half part means one man eager to wound, but in last part, second half part, he is not able to strike. So there is a contrast between both senses. Man proposes and God disposes in Pop's poetry. Man proposes and God disposes. Man इंसान निष्पादित प्रस्तावित करता है और ईश्वर निष्पादित करता है. In both, the meaning of both parts is just opposite, but both are true. Marriage has many pains, but celibacy has no pleasures in Johnson's Rasselas. Dr. Johnson's great work Rasselas, he describes that marriage has many pains. Marriage, there are many pains in marriage, but unmarriage, we can say celibacy, bachelorness has no pleasure. So there we found such kind of antithesis. Now we come second term, problem play. What is the problem play? As the words of the term is automatically speaks its own sense. Problem play. The play, any drama which is based on any problem is known the problem play. But first we read its definitions. The play which represents or highlights the contemporary burning social problem, questions, or a current issue by using realistic techniques. And the play which represents, the play which highlights contemporary burning social problem, a question, a current issue using realistic techniques. कोई भी नाटक जो वर्तमान या समसामयिक सामाजिक समस्या या प्रश्न या किसी मुद्दे को हाईलाइट करता है या उसको बेसिस बना करके लिखा जाता है और उसको लिखने में वर्तमान यथार्थवादी तकनीकी का उपयोग करता है, तो इस प्रकार के नाटक समस्यात्मक नाटक कहे जाते हैं. द फेवरेबल सॉल्यूशंस इज ऑल्सो गिवन एट द एंड ऑफ द प्ले. द फेवरेबल उचित समाधान भी इस प्रकार के समस्यात्मक नाटकों के अंत में दिए जाते हैं. टाइप्स ऑफ प्लेज आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज रियलिस्टिक प्ले. इस प्रकार के नाटकों को हम यथार्थवादी नाटक के नाम से भी जानते हैं और समस्यात्मक नाटक भी कहे जाते हैं. समस्यात्मक यानी कि ये समस्या बिल्कुल रियलिस्टिक, सच काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम दैट इज़ बर्निंग एंड दैट इज़ ऑल्सो रियलिस्टिक. सो सच प्रॉब्लम प्ले इज ऑल्सो नाउन by the other name of realistic plays. Protagonist has to undergo through these day-to-day life problems. Protagonist, any actor which is the center actor of any drama, has to undergo through, has to bear all these problems. It is the modern invention of 20th century in the field of pop drama, this problem play. Before 20th century, no kind of problem play was written in the history of English literature. There were tragedy and comedy, and before no social problem, social problems was made as a base of the drama. But in 20th century, invent, invented a new type of drama, which is now problem play. Example, it was first introduced and invented by the great Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. प्रॉब्लम प्ले का सबसे पहले इंट्रोड्यूस और आविष्कार नॉर्वे के ग्रेट प्लेराइट नाटककार हेनरिक इब्सन ने दिया और किया. इन हिज प्ले ए डॉल्स हाउस इब्सन हाईलाइट्स द हिपोक्रेसी ऑफ द डोमेस्टिक लाइफ. हेनरिक इब्सन ने अपने प्ले एक डॉल्स हाउस गुड़िया का मकान में उसने घरेलू जीवन के अत्याचार को हाईलाइट किया है. In Saw's Mistress Warren's professions, the morality of prostitution is regarded as a typical phenomena in a capitalist society. Dr. G.B. Shaw, who is also the great dramatist in the early 20th century in England, Dr. G.B. Shaw, who wrote many problem plays as Man, Superman, and Mistress Warren's Profession, and in Mistress Warren's Profession he highlights the morality of prostitutions. वेश्यावृत्ति की नैतिकता जो पूंजीवादी समाज के अंदर एक समस्या है, तो इस समस्या को उन्होंने इस मिस्ट्रेस वारेंस प्रोफेशन के अंदर हाईलाइट किया है. जॉन गाल्सवर्दी, समरसेट मॉगम और मेन प्लेयर्स ऑफ प्रॉब्लम प्ले. जी.बी. शॉ और हेनरिक इब्सन के अलावा 20th सेंचुरी में जॉन गाल्सवर्दी और समरसेट मॉगम ने भी समस्यात्मक नाटक लिखे हैं. सो नाउ वी हैव अंडरस्टूड व्हाट इज़ द प्रॉब्लम प्ले एंड हु आर द पोइट, हु आर द ड्रामाटिस्ट, who wrote problem play. Now we come on third terms, free verse. The meaning, the sense of the free verse as the word. In this literary term there are two words, free and verse. Verse means any poem that is free. It means we can say in Hindi muktak chand. What is the definitions of free verse? Definitions: a metrical line that doesn't follow the regular stress pattern and rhyme scheme. Any metrical line that doesn't follow the regular stress pattern and rhyme scheme. As you know, dear students, poem is a metrical line. Any metrical line is also known as the poem. So any metrical line that doesn't follow the regular stress pattern. That doesn't follow the regular stress pattern and rhyme scheme. It means there is a free verse follows irregular stress pattern. There is a regular pattern and rhyme scheme. There is also found a lack of rhyme scheme. It means in free verse there is no rhyme scheme and there is no regular stress pattern. So any metrical line that doesn't follow the regular stress pattern and rhyme scheme is also known as the free verse. The word free verse is derived from French word vers libre, which means freedom in use of words or matter. Free verse is derived from the French word vers libre, and vers libre is also a grand literary movement which was run in French. So as the word vers libre means liberty, liberalism, freedom in words, means freedom in use of words and matter. In use of matter and words there is freedom, so it is the free verse. Who has invented the free verse? Walt Whitman is called as the father of free verse. Walt Whitman, who is the American national poet and great American poet, and he is also known as the father of free verse in the history of English literature and even the American literature, in world literature. He used in his epoch-making work Leaves of Grass in 1855. Walt Whitman wrote a great work. Leaves of Grass is a collection of songs and it was written in 1855. He has used this term free verse in this great book. So he is called as the father of free verse. T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, and William Carroll and many other modern poets have used in this their poetry. And all modern poets, we can say, most of modern poets are using free verse in their poetry. So free verse has got popularity during the modern age. That's all for today. Thank you, dear students. Okay.